I just love the smell of cedar. Did you know it's actually the smell that drives away the moths and other insects? So a cedar closet is a great place to store your clothes. Plus they come out of storage smelling fresh instead of smelling like mothballs. And this is a relatively simple project that most do-it-yourselfers could knock out in one day. In order to determine how much cedar we need in this closet, we need to measure the height and the width of all of our walls. Let's see what the height of this wall is. It's 116 inches, so that's a little over 9.5 feet. If you're going to do this for a weekend project, I would recommend that you go ahead mid-week and take your measurements, and then go right then to buy your cedar. 44.5. I'm just going to go ahead and write this on the wall since we'll cover it up later. Doesn't matter. Anyway, you need to let the cedar acclimate in the atmosphere that it's going to be installed in for at least 24 hours. This will save any problems later from the cedar warping or gapping. Let's see, 17.5. When I'm through taking my measurements, we're going to multiply the height by the width and then divide that by 12 to get our square footage, because the cedar is sold in square feet. And chances are you're probably not going to have a closet like this one. This one actually has 7 walls that we're going to have to do. For this closet, we determined that we needed 115 square feet of cedar. And you're going to get 35 square feet in each box, so we needed 4 boxes. Also, the planks come in 2 feet and also in 4 feet lengths. This way you can stagger your seams and it's going to look better. They also come straight from the manufacturer already cut, so they're 3¼ inch wide and 1/4 inch thick. And these fit together really nicely because the planks are tongue and groove, so it's going to look good in here. You can use nails to attach these, but we don't really want to see the head of the nails, so we're going to use glue, and this is subflooring adhesive. So, just dab a little bit of this on, and we'll get started. I placed this first board with the tongue side facing up. That way it's sitting flush with the baseboard. And it's recommended that you start in a bottom corner and work all the way around your walls before you start building up. So I need to go ahead and measure to cut my second piece, 20.5. You can use a regular handsaw to cut the planks, but we're using a compound miter saw to make our job go a whole lot faster. So I need to measure this at 20.5, cut it out. Plus you can rent the compound miter saw for around $35 a day. So it'll be well worth it. And it's a good idea to wear safety goggles anytime you're using a power tool. Let me line this up. We're going to hang on to all these spare pieces because we may need them later. Now that we've got our first row in, I'm going to start with this 2-foot board to start the second row. So let me get this glue on here, and I'm going to put it on this side, and that way I can stagger my seams now. And we're just going to stagger our seams all the way up and around the closet so that it looks good. You don't need to put glue down the whole board, just about 3 globs ought to do it. And you may have to use a hammer to just lightly tap this into place. 17.25. We're about 1/3 of the way up on the wall now, but this corner is a lot trickier to do than the rest of the walls. That's because you have to cut these 2 boards at a 45-degree angle so they meet up and line together nicely. And also, it's a good idea for you to keep measuring the width of the wall as you move up, because you may find some inconsistencies in the width. For example, we had to cut this board 1/8 of an inch longer than this board. Another good feature about the miter saw is you can loosen this lock nut to turn your blade sideways so that you can make a 45-degree cut. Now this first board I need to cut with the tongue facing me. And the second board I need to cut with the tongue facing the blade. And now you can see how the boards fit together nicely, and that's how you make a 45-degree angle. There, now you can see how good that fits together because of the 45-degree angle. This is another tricky area of the closet because we need to notch out this plank so it fits in this space. And the easiest way to do this is go ahead and set this down in the groove and then mark for your depth. And then I'm going to put the plank underneath this board so that I can mark for my length. Now what we can do is connect these two dots and notch this piece out. Since I'm using a jigsaw to cut this board out, I'm going to go ahead and clamp it down to help hold it in place. Get it good and tight. All right. All right, I've already glued this piece, and there you go. It fits like a charm. Remember earlier I told you to hold on to the scrap pieces because you may need them. Well, here's where this is going to come in handy. I need to cut an L shape, so let me put a mark here, and also one right there. Now I can go outside and notch this out. We're on the home stretch. We just need a little dab of glue on this piece. And just make sure I line up the tongue in the groove. And there you go. That piece fits perfect too. I'm just sanding away a few of these rough edges on this corner. If you'll give your cedar closet a light sanding every few years, that'll rejuvenate the aroma, which by the way smells wonderful in here. That'll keep the pesky moths away. This really was a simple do-it-yourself project. We probably spent about $250, and I bet you'd save that much in labor. I think it looks pretty good.